I recently had the chance to sit down with Tomas from XSET a few days before the start of the new North American League this week. We got to discuss his early history in pro play, personal motivations, career aspirations, and a lot of early challenges that this new XSET team has to face before they even play their first official game in the NAL. He is a chatterbox, and I love talking to the guy, so here's the interview that I did with him in full. Hope you enjoy it, and let me know if there's anybody else that you want me to talk to next. Have a good one. Peace out. I do want to get into the stuff with EXG, Luminosity, 92 Dream Team, and all that stuff in a second. But before I do, tell me about Vegas. You haven't been in like a team house environment before, or have you? If you have, like, correct me if I'm wrong.
I was on Luminosity. I was there for a couple months.
Okay.
During that time, I was pretty stupid with my money. I really didn't save. It was more of a spend.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, I actually know what to do in Vegas. I'm a better cook. More so a better cook than I was last time. Even though I was a good cook last time, but I can actually throw down more in the kitchen. With the guys, I cooked them a lot of stuff depending on the days. Like I said, we had a barbecue. It was a good relaxing day, and we cook a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. And also
Vegas
like
good weather was, yeah.
The dynamic with like everyone else in that house too, because it seems like it like a clash of personalities kind of seems like the wrong word, but it seems like there are a lot of really big personalities in that house. So I didn't know if that was kind of like a pain to deal with sometimes, or if you guys have like a pretty good history of getting along. You've only been in there since like the beginning of March.
Yeah, you could say a lot of us have big personalities, sort of. Tim is more of a quiet dude. You don't really see him stream or anything out of like game days, since he was on Tempo.
Yeah.
Butters, he streams. He has like that chill personality vibe. Of course, Drip, myself, and Filthy have the big personality, but when you have personalities like that, and not people that are quiet 24/7 or don't feel comfortable around each other in a team house, it feels better like this because you're always around each other. You enjoy each other's presence. At the end of the day, we're quarantined, so like we only see each other, so if you don't have friends or, if you don't hang out with your teammates, it's going to be a little tough on you. But yeah, so it's actually nice when you call your teammates your friends or even brothers at some point. So
yeah, for real. And what's that quarantine process like for you guys? Because obviously we have the LAN League coming up for the NAL in just a couple of days, but I didn't know we've already been kind of like isolating and quarantine like, separately for a really long time, but is that any different in like a team house dynamic at all?
In a team house, not really. The org XSET, rep the set, got us a fantastic house. We have a gym in the backyard, pool. Everyone has their own room. We're comfortable in this house. It's enough for us. Bryce actually got like a comfortable like a luxury bachelor pad, so he he's still quarantined, but he's quarantined in a luxurious apartment. But yeah, we have everything we need here. Of course, Uber Eats sometimes, but quarantine it's tough because you really there's a lot of teams out here. A lot of your friends are on different teams. They can't see each other. It's a tough time, but you'll get through.
Yeah, I figured. Brycer going off and getting his own thing separate from the team just seems like the most Brycer thing that he could have done in a situation like that.
Well, it's because we didn't have enough rooms, but it's fine because like thank God the org is paying through because he wouldn't. No one would want a luxurious pad if it's coming out of pocket, So shout out to XF for that one. Like I said, when we get to the part of me explaining to XSET and this process and their process of getting into the scene, it's probably the best org I've ever been a part of. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased or what.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I compare XSET to my past orgs, it's 100% more communicative, more worrying about your players. They're there to support you to win and to build you, than rather just to throw you in the wild and say, learn yourself.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a good thing that you mentioned like your other teams, because I did want to segue like right into that. For those who aren't super familiar with like your previous competitive experience and everything, you did play a little bit before you got to EXG, but for your time on Accelerate Gaming, that was like the first time you really jumped into like a T1 or Pro League setting, right?
I was in CL. It's actually funny because whenever I joined EXG, like those fools always lost to me in CL, but they won CL. So like the record versus me was 0-2. So when they picked me up, I took on the coaching role, and then the players made a decision to drop Nix after the first play day. Then I stepped in. It was after. Actually, let's bring this up. We had tried Goddess and Seth at that time. No one actually knows about this.
Ooh.
But we tried out Goddess and Seth at the time, and it was Goddess, Seth, Swanky, Achieved, and Bio. But because of contract issues with Goddess, she couldn't join EXG. And then that time they formed Soniqs formed, because at that time it was called Elephant Gang.
Right, yeah.
And then Soniqs formed later on. So after trying out multiple people, I was literally the last option. Bio said, throw me, we're trying you out. Everyone agreed. Later on, they agreed because I'm a loud person, so not a lot of people will like a loud person on a team. It's all honesty. I'm not as loud now as I was before. But yeah, we tried. It was against Sinister. Oasis on the team, Holiday, Nog, Pixel, and I completely shattered them. There's they had no and before that, before I was on the player, the main roster, those guys were the ones basically smoking the team when I was coaching EXG. So they were like, oh wow, we're actually smoking them now. So they picked me up. I'm not gonna lie, as a rookie on the team, I was hard headed. Me and another player really butt heads.
Oh.
It's your rookie season. I mean, me as a person, I don't like people stepping on me. Even it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, I'm friends with all the EXG guys now, but I didn't like it, so I butt heads. My stats were there. It wasn't anything stat-wise. It was just me not agreeing with half the shit they said. So I got dropped. Hyena said, they wanted to drop bombs at the time. Y Bombs, who was on 92. And luckily before... I had talked to the org of EXG, who is Justin, who's now the general manager or the CEO of Elevate on the APAC region. I told him, I want to get released to play with 92. He said, what, fine, sure. I got released.
Who was on
thank God.
At the time, who was on 92? You were coming
it
into
was
a team who had who on it.
It was Hyena, Drip, Doodle, Rexon, and Y Bombs, and the coach was Virus. And at the time, Y Bombs at the time wasn't really performing well to what they wanted him to.
Yeah.
And when I joined, it was 4 games or 5 games away from the season. They were in fifth place. So when I joined, I elevated them to 4th. And at that time, OC had Merc, Fold, Factor.
Yeah, the organized
no, Factor wasn't even on that team, actually. Factor was on Toon Squad. Toon Squad got smoked out of the playoffs. So if SQ didn't beat, so if SQ had let Toon Squad win, 92 would have never made it. But Goddess had won a 1v3 versus Toon Squad, and we made it to playoffs.
Yep.
Or something like that, where if we didn't win versus this team, that day, we wouldn't have made it. It was something like that. My mind is plugged.
But you guys still ended up making playoffs in 4th place, if I'm right?
Yeah, we made 4th place. We played OC first. I think I dropped probably plus 16 that series. I was the MVP of that game.
Yeah.
At that time, they had a weird CL rule because Factor was on Toon Squad, and they dropped Gurmy, I believe, and picked up Factor. So basically, Factor had 2 chances in that season. It was something like because Factor was on Toon Squad, and then he got picked up for OC. So during playoffs, so that was a weird rule. And I mean, either way, we smoked them. But I mean, who's really winning now? Merc on TSM and False World Champion.
I was about to say,
but
they went on to do really good things.
They went on to do really good things. So I mean, we probably boosted them with that because if they had won PL CL that season, they would have stuck together and said, "Oh, we're nasty," or So I mean, you never know. But yeah, we beat them against Soniqs. We win the first map. Second map, we went downhill on club, and then third map, it was we were down 2-4, 3-4, and Doodle said, "Guys, pick it the fuck up. I'm not going back to work at Hobby Lobby," because he said, "Yeah." So Drip started pulling stuff out of his ass, bro. He was prone as Valkyrie on Garage, clutched a 1v3. He was just going off, and then so that's how 92 basically made Pro League. We win, and then we beat Soniqs. And then that same day, we qualified, or we signed up to go to Allied Minor. It's a funny story. We signed up to go to Allied Minor, and we signed up as a CL team that day in the morning. So there was pros, I'm going to say, achieved in them. They're like, oh, CL team's got the upper advantage to go to Allied Minor. This is bull crap. And then literally, it was us and SU that got in before EXG did. And then once... because Soniqs had relegated Rise, if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
They relegated Rise, so basically there was 2 CL teams that became Pro League teams that got into Allied Minor. So we became Pro League players within that 6 hours of people basically roasting us being in Allied Minor that day. But yeah, that's the 92 and EXG story for me.
Yeah, and then you guys you played at the Allied Minor under the 92 banner, but that was the only time that the team that won from CL also then played together in something that wasn't CL, because when you guys made Pro League, it wasn't quite the same team, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same team as just us dropping, or it was more of Drip leaving on his own terms. Mm-hmm. He honestly did leave, but we were going to make the move.
Yeah.
It's just he caught on to it. It's land, people talk. Mm-hmm. We decided to make a move. It was internal issues. It was nothing his. I mean, he was one of the reasons why we made Pro League. It was never his. Right. It was never his stats. Him, Doodle, and myself were, when we made Pro League, we were basically the top 3 fraggers. At that time, Rexon wasn't really activated.
He didn't come into his own yet. Yeah,
exactly. He was still the Ash Jaeger on that team, or Twitch Jaeger, but he wasn't really what he is now, and he can even tell you that. So to say Drip wasn't a big part of 92, 100% was. Everyone was, mm-hmm. But he was 100% a big part of it. But Allied Minor, internal issues, stuff happened. He left the team. He's literally sitting right there. Yeah, and I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he left the team. We were gonna make the move, and from the Drip I knew then to the Drip I knew now, 100 times better attitude-wise. Internal shit. That's why when I joined RentFree, he grew more as a player when I joined RentFree than when 92. So I give him props for getting better, because time at the same, you got to realize people develop over time.
Right.
You're not the same person from 2 years ago, and people quite forget that. So if you had an anger issue a year ago, people are gonna be like, oh, that guy has an anger issue. It's not like people can't change it.
Yeah.
But I mean, people love to talk instead of actually giving people a shot. So I'm more of a giving the person a shot type of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So moving back through the Luminosity days at that point, they come in and pick you up. I think it was 2 days or 2 play days into the regular season for season 10.
It was June 23rd. No, we beat TSM without Bolo June 17th because it was his birthday 2 days before.
Right. Yeah.
Because Pojo was in instead of Bolo.
Back when TSM wasn't the World Crushers that we know them as now. Yeah.
Well. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They were there when I had gotten released or dropped. No, I'm not gonna say released and dropped from LG. They were 6th place, but they had one DreamHack Montreal. But it was without Bio, it was without Crusher, mm-hmm. and it was without the Pojo playing as a player. He was a coach. But going back to the story, we beat TSM. We played USN Quals. We smoked Rogue. That's when drop shotting came back for a week, and Hyena was drop shotting everyone. Mm-hmm. We smoked them, and then we lost, and then we played DZ, and then we 7-1 them or 7-0'd them. I think it was 7-1, 7-2. It was on border. And then that night we got signed. It was June 23rd, June 26th we got announced.
Yeah.
It was around that time. So it all happened in about a week's worth, I believe, around a week, I say. Because we picked up Pixel for Drip. That's what we picked up.
Yep.
and then he was released right after DreamHack Montreal. It was more of a 3/5 decision. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what basically happened.
So then you go through with a little bit more of a tenure with Luminosity, but then for you specifically, you go through kind of, I guess, an up and down stage or an up and down season at that point, because it was like the first half of that Pro League season split. What ends up being the catalyst that means that you're no longer with that LG team anymore? What kind of happened there?
I mean, with LG, it was more of an internal issue, to be honest. I'm just, it happened, but I'm going to say that team was more of a friendship team than business. If you look at stats, you had people going -30, -20 on entry, and I was -1 or +0, and I was the one getting the boot because it's just my views and their views weren't the same. So at that time, orgs really didn't have a say in the spot because it was ESL. Now when your job is actually on the line and the org actually sees stats, it's a different situation because the orgs can actually come in and say, hey, you're actually the one doing bad. How about you leave, or how about you try to pick it up? And that's what happened, because even though after I left, the same people that were underperforming, no offense to them, I mean, I'm not here just speaking out of my ass. I'm actually, you can look at the stats and look at me from I'm not there, and you can see them underperforming still on entry or whatever it is. And, I mean, that's what happened. A lot of people have different views. Me and someone on that team really clashed heads a lot.
Oof.
I mean, I really didn't have bad blood. To this day, I mean, it happened. What's the saying? Time goes on, or it's pretty much over right now, right? Like,
yeah, it's true.
It's done. The shit that happened is gone. So, I mean, LG isn't really a big meaning to me anymore. And if we go back to what I said versus with my new org, with LG, no offense to them, with LG, I never really had someone to talk. We never really met, and that was pre-COVID, by the way. We never really had a content team come out. We never had an org person come out. It was over. But it was over calls and stuff. It was never yo, let's do this, let's do that. They had a Toronto gaming event, and we were supposed to be flown out, and we were never flown out. I mean, don't get me wrong, they paid us good. Stuff was there, but the difference where I see from now with XSET, we met the org owners. We have one close by. We got amazing. We got the merch. The merch is amazing. I mean, on LG we got merch too, but merch comes in. You got people checking up on us. They're player dependent. Or they rely a lot of stuff on the players. They care about the players. LG cared about us, but it's from me seeing difference in orgs. I truly believe, in my honest opinion, that me being on XSET is I'm not even done with XSET yet, and I'm saying this is one of the best feelings ever,
It sounds like it's a night and day comparison to any for EXG or for LG. What you're getting now is
EXG,
such a way better experience.
No offense to EXG, I mean, I'm still friends with the org. You can ask any of the TSM. Well, only player that was on EXG at the time was Achieve. That's only on TSM now. You can ask any of the org. Really had a lot of issues. If you want me to compare EXG to LG was 100% better. But with TSM, not TSM, with XSET 100% is night and day. The better org, the best org. And it's a new org, and it's giving you the respect and the treatment like this.
Yeah.
That only says that says so much already. So expect it in 3-4 years, and I just can't wait for that. I want to be a part of an org, when it's building up and it's like this, because in 3-4 years, man, you never know where it's going. So I mean. So yeah, shout out to XSET once again. I need the new merch though.
It makes me happy to see you giddy about the team and the org that you're working with right now.
Oh, of course,
it seems
of
really,
course.
Really good.
And we got to thank Ubisoft for that. Ubisoft was one of the contributors of of setting us up with this org. They were, we won Challenger League. So no offense to all the other teams that joined up. Mirage was a, Canadian Pro League team that joined up. So but we won Challenger League. Say we got promoted. Okay, fine. We got promoted, but we were going to smoke Tempo. There was no way in hell we would have lost.
Sure.
We would have smoked Tempo. Ask Filthy. Ask Drew. Ask him.
They would have gotten smoked.
They would have got him joining the team. Said no. We would have banned Ash. He would have got smoked. No. He would have got smoked. 100%. They would have got smoked out of the water. They had 7 players underperforming. He was the only one performing.
Ouch.
He was the only one performing. It's proven. It's literally in the stats.
No, it's true. Yeah, the stats don't lie.
He was literally the only one performing. You ban Ash? There you go. He's gone. But no, we would have smoked them. We had Sweater and Prof back then. We were ready for it. Then news came out. They got released. United got released. Yeah. So to sit there and see we got promoted, sure, but we won to get that number 1 CL spot. Mm-hmm. We won that. We didn't get promoted from CL, not playing playoffs or whatever it is, and just get promoted. No, We won our bracket, and we came up, so...
Yep. No, before we end up getting into all of that stuff, especially about the way that XSET works now and whatnot, and what we can expect from the NAL, I really did want to touch on RentFree, because after you were done with Luminosity, there was a little bit of time that you spent trying to figure out what team you wanted to get into CL with, or who you were qualing with, and there was kind of I didn't really know where you were going. There was a team back with Bio back in the day that was trying to get going, if I remember right.
No. The team with Bio went well. It's just the thing is, Bio and Mark, so the team that was there was basically the team I had left, and then I had a little 1 month hiatus vacation of going to see family in the Netherlands and such. But at the time when I came back, Run It Back, who was the number 1 team, had Karn, Shuttle, Abunai, Fozo, and Vandal, and I joined Bio's team, which was my team, and supposedly Run It Back was the number 1 team. It was a swift, blowout. Well, it was a 2-1, but it had nothing. We came back and I just shattered them. Put up so much numbers against them, and then we took the number 1 seed. But this is where shit gets tough. Prod and Reed were on the team with me. DG starts forming in for Pro League.
Right. Yeah.
So what happened is that was the last season of ESL CL season, but it was a beginning season of Face It NAL.
Right, because they had to end everything with CL and then make the big transition in.
Exactly. Yeah. So guess what happens? Mark already is on tempo. We know that before we even play the playoffs. Bio's on rec. We already know that. So we literally have a 3/5 roster. Guess what happens? DG forms. They pick up Nyx, Retro. They take Reed.
Yep.
Now you have 2/5. The rule's gone. Your team's gone. So I had to leave the team. No one had offered me tryouts. Then I picked up Shuttle from Run It Back. Then they picked up Drip as the last piece, and then a month later, 2 months later, they're supposed to move out, and 2 days before they move out, they drop Drip.
Yeah, I remember that conversation with Nyx afterward.
Getting to that, we're gonna get to that because this is he's laughing right now in the mirror. You can see, look at him cheesing. But yeah, so that's what happens. So I joined Senshi at the time. It was with Murdy.
Yeah.
Murdy, Kardama.
Was Cobra on that team too? Yeah.
They're actually brothers. So there are 2 brothers playing. Yeah, there are 2 brothers on the same team.
Right.
And then it was myself, Yoji, Murdy, Kardama, and Cobra. In scrims, I'm gonna be honest with you. In scrims, we were the nastiest team ever. We had the best shooters. Mm-hmm. I love those guys with all my heart. We had some of the funniest and best signs on that team. But when it came to game day, we really weren't there. Yeah. My stats were there. I was still a top 10 player, even though we were number 6, number 7. But yeah, they as a team, we really weren't the best game day. But we were the only team that really took a map up out of PogChamp after they went on that 27 map run. You said what? Yeah, it was like a 27 map run or something like that. We were the only team that did it after they had lost to Joe Academy the first day, and then PogChamp won like the whole season. But that happened. I'm at a closed road because I know I have to move on without Senshi because, it didn't go well with the CL season. Basically got relegated, is moving to Face It.
Yep.
And then I come to a roadblock. Filthy and Bryce get released from PogChamp. One of the dumbest moves PogChamp ever made, because Chala got picked up by TSM at that time, and then they removed Filthy, who had plus 20 or plus 17 in that season.
He was doing good.
Whatever it was, plus 26. There you go.
He's correcting you from the kitchen.
He's correcting me. Literally on my left, plus 26. Bryce got released with him. Dumbest thing they ever did. Dumbest thing ever.
The way that I heard that one was, it was more like, correct me if I'm wrong, it was a situation where PogChamp wins the last season for ESL Challenge League back in season 11, and then they go to, or like Brycer and Filthy both leave because they were going to build a new roster up. I didn't know if they were leaving of their own accord or they got dropped.
They didn't leave. They got dropped. They got released. They dropped Filthy, and then they said take Brycer with you. So at the time, I built a roster. It was me, Abunai, one of my old teammates, Yoji from Senshi, and then two other people. We had a good. I wanted to bring on Filthy, and I DM'd him. He said, "Nah, brother. I want to make my own team. I don't think that's the right fit for me." I was like, "All right, that's fine." Mm-hmm. So I had prompted as well. R6. And then Filthy takes Abunai from me. Abunai's like, Tomas, yo, come on, bro. Like, you already know your worth. Let's go over here.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Sorry, boys. I'm going to this team. We grinded out. It was me. So I joined the team. It was Benji Mula, Hitman, Abunai, Filthy, and myself with Brycer coaching.
Okay.
About 2 to 3 weeks later, we're scrimming day in, day out, dry running. Some of the funniest times, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Rex, the team that Hyena had, it was Hyena, Rexin, Doodle, Lags, and Drip. Hyena gets banned. Doodle wanted to quit, so Doodle quit. Lags went to SQ as a sub. You remember that?
Yep.
So Drip and Rexin were literally told Filthy, pick us up for Hitman and for Abunai. Well, Abunai had decided to leave. Actually, I'm sorry. Abunai decided to leave literally a week in or 2 weeks in, and then once he left, he had tweeted out he's retiring stuff. And then 2 days later, he wanted to come back.
Because retirement in esports totally matters whenever you tweet it.
Retirement in Siege, it doesn't even matter. We even left Bud to this day. But yeah, so Hitman is one of my favorite guys out there. His name is Wade. So I was like, Wade, we just have to move on without you. With Rexin and Drip, they're obviously, when you want to take a risk, you take it with them because they're obviously there. You don't, with Wade, I never really played a game with him, but him and Benji Mula coming off of Shook Squad with big numbers. Now Benji Mula's on Mirage, So we qualified for CL. Fuck, I'm gonna open this up, but during this time, sorry if I get a little teary, but my dad had passed away.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
So my dad had passed away June 10th, and the team depended on me. I don't know how I did it. Most of it's, prayers, God, my faith. I just had to. My dad was my best friend. It was even though the guys on LG dropped me, it was a blessing in disguise. I got to spend 7 more months with him, at home, rather than being 7 months away and him passing away when I'm not there. So, I knew that I had to have the guys back, this is our last like run. I told me and Filthy from that day, we looked at each other and we said, bro, we're tired. We've been getting released from teams, and Rexon at that time had told me, we should have never released you, but the deed was done.
Sure.
Right? They had dropped me, it's whatever. So me and Filthy looked at each other and said, bro, this is our last run. If we don't make it to Pro League, we move on with our lives. We gotta worry about families because I don't come from a privileged family. I had to work for my money. We all had to work for our money. It wasn't easy for us. So
yeah,
and Filthy as well. So that was when me and Filthy started respecting each other more than teammates, as friends, brothers, family, because we understood each other's perception and stuff. So I buried my dad the next day. I got into scrims that night. That's what I wanted to do for the guys. It was also an scapegoat for me too. I won't lie to you. It was me moving my emotions to the side and worry about scrims.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, we in the Quals we play Senshi, and this is literally 4 days. It was 4 days that my dad's passed away, buried, and we beat them. And then we make CL, and the job wasn't over, but it felt good. You put your emotions aside, and it felt good. We lose to Butters until after we played a season, we beat PogChamp. Sweater was on that team. Then Sweater joined RF, but we'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
We beat PogChamp badly. We just tortured them. We played. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Our first game was against Polar Ace. Actually, I dropped 20 kills the first map. They were having moss issues the whole time. The guys on the team, amazing people, Vivid, all of them.
Yeah, the guys that are now Slaughterhouse. I remember this because
to play. Yeah,
it wasn't. I just remember that was back before games were broadcast, so everyone's hearing about all of these moss issues, but no one's actually able to see how the game went down.
So the thing is, the whole time we waited 40 minutes for them to work on moss. We waited 40 minutes before the game started.
Okay.
Supposedly they said it was working. They beat us fair and square. 100% they beat us fair and square, like the game.
Okay.
I will not deny it. They 100% beat us. On console it was 8-7 or 7-5. I dropped 20 kills. It was a barn burner. Then coastline was like a smoke show for them. Or the smoke they just smoked us.
Right.
So we moved on. We're like, all right, fuck it. We lost, guys. Let's focus on the loser bracket, and we'll focus on the next stage. Or the next, whatever.
Right, because back then, if you lost one game, that meant you couldn't play for the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, even not now, but when we had won the second stage, same thing.
Yeah, same idea.
So, it was one loss and you're gone. So, we won. The next day, I get an email. I'm like, guys, we won versus Polar Ace. What? What the hell? We didn't protest. It's because we had waited 40 minutes. They said their moss was working, and then they ended up sending an old moss file. So basically, they tried to say, it's either they sent the wrong moss file or they didn't submit it, and we were declared the win. We did not protest at all whatsoever. No protest claim. We lost fair and square. We had no one to blame but ourselves. We had won. Then we beat PogChamp literally the next week, and then to Butters, we lost to Butters, who's now an XSET.
Right.
You see how the circle comes. Rexon gets picked up for United. We decided to drop Benji. Prophecy, who was on Akatsuki or Akatsuki, whatever the team
I think it was
called,
Akatsuki,
with
yeah.
Yardy, with Drip, Akatsuki. Drip had asked him. He said, "Yo, join up. You're not going to make it with that team," which was Joe at the time, and he was right. He joined up our team. Sweater wanted to leave PogChamp, but he wanted to leave with Jarvis, so we had tried out Jarvis before we tried out Prof, and then luckily Temple picked up Jarvis after he aced SSG back-to-back, and they picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then we picked up Sweater, we picked up Prof. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, in that 3-week period when we picked them up. I'm sorry. Before we picked up Prof, we had picked up J9, J90.
Yeah.
And then he got picked up to DG. So we literally went through so many roster changes.
Right,
bro.
I remember it was
many.
like T1 teams and Pro League teams were like poaching from you guys so often to pick up new players.
Apparently, like whenever we scrimmed T1 teams, we would smoke them. There was like we would smoke T1 teams, and then they would like obviously tweet out about us saying we're a scrim team, but then they will take players from us, which was weird.
Yeah.
J9 wasn't picked up for DG at the time. Actually. He was a sub for SQ, and then he joined our team, and then he was picked up for DG, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So then we picked up Prof. Actually, no, we had DP Fire or something like that, and then we dropped DP Fire. We dropped DP Fire, and then we on stream he was streaming with stream. It was such a shitty situation.
Wow, that's harsh.
But we can joke about it now.
Yeah.
It was more of a heat in the moment. We just wanted it to be done with, and we're not me, but
business decision is a business decision. Yeah.
Drip wanted it. I'm looking Drip in the eyes right out through my mirror. Yeah. We decided to drop him. We told him midstream. We obviously had him mute the audio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't really drop him. It was more of a trade. We basically took Sweater. They took DP Fire for PogChamp. So it was more of a trade. But yeah. We picked up Sweater Prof. Going back to that. I honestly thought in the 3 weeks or 4 weeks from September 1st when I had COVID to October 3rd, the game day, I thought we wouldn't make it because of the personalities. Now that team had the most personalities. You had Sweater, you had Prof, you had me, Filthy, and Drip. We had so many personalities.
That's a lot of big people in the room, yeah.
So, holy smokes, I thought we wouldn't make it because everyone's at each other's neck. After the first game, of course, it was like Marmalade team at the time. I forgot their name, Guidance Gaming.
They were Guidance, and then when they got dropped, it was Bracket Blessed, yeah.
Bracket Blessed. We smoked them. It was just no thing with it. And then we played Favelas, and then I was like, all right, this team is game day. We're actually good,
Yeah.
But during scrims, we'd be getting smoked. We'd be like, oh, what the hell's happening? We're getting smoked, but at game days, we'd just be shitting on kids. And then if we played Favelas, Karn went off the map 1 Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And then we activated the Jets on Consulate and on Coastline, and we smoked them.
I remember that.
And we really wanted to win that game. We wanted to win that game so bad because Jolton and Kino at the time were shit-talking us so much. And I remember I was like, all right, bro, listen, Consulate, I'm calling out everything. I need people to be on point. Stop with the negative energy. It's time to bring up the vibes. Let's go. I think we won like 7-1, 7-2 on Consulate or something like that.
It was a smoke show, yeah. They didn't stand a chance.
Diaz Lucas was like 0-9 or some shit like that. 1-9 or something like that. On Coastline, it was like 7-2, 7-4. It was something around there. And then we obviously won versus Favelas. I had the interview with you. I told you Kino and Jolton were talking shit.
They were talking a lot of smack.
Them. Yep. Then we move on to BC. And that was just obviously a smoke show. I didn't have to even bring in my kills. Sweater just ate them like there was no leftovers.
It's true.
That fool had plus 70 at the end of the season from stage 1 and stage 2 on PogChamp, and he was plus 40 on our team. So on PogChamp, he was like, plus 27, and then he came to our team. We got him like plus 20, plus 33. And
yep.
Like he was a big part of RF's victory, so we can't even deny that. So
yeah.
Him and Prophecy. But yeah, that's basically the timeline of RF. Then we get promoted November 11th, November 12th. We were supposed to play Tempo like December 16th, 15th.
Yeah, it would have been like during the U.S. finals for relegation, but then the whole
the US
thing
finals,
with Tempo dropping out meant they couldn't they didn't have to play the game. But
Tempo
you guys
was a shitty org too, so let's just keep it at that and move on.
Play. Yeah, so you guys end up getting you get the call up more or less. You beat Beast Coast already. You're just like, yeah, we are expecting to have that date with Tempo Storm to see if we're going to make it into the NAL or not.
Oh, we were going to smoke them. The atmosphere on the team, like Tim might say this right now, like he's obviously joking, saying cap or we would have smoked them.
Mm-hmm.
But we had obviously serious talks like that, and I'm friends with some of them that were on the team. The atmosphere on the team was shit. It was like there was no getting up from where they were, basically.
Yeah, they were down bad.
They were the ones that were supposed to be relegated. And then remember when EU had left the scene, and then Temple became 7. So EU basically got relegated, so we would have been promoted either way, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a game to play.
Got relegated. Exactly. But then Temple got relegated, so our relegation match still moved on.
Right.
Or got denied and our promotion came in, whatever you want to say. But yeah, we would have smoked them. It was no doubt on my mind. Filthy wanted to go at them. Like, that was the team Filthy was on, Filthy.tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to just go at them and smoke them. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically our timeline. And then I could go into details into the invite calls if you want me to, but
maybe not so much for invite calls. I think we can talk more about
because that is when Prophecy left.
Well, okay, true. So I had heard from a whole bunch of people that he had like straight up retired, but I didn't know if there was something else like to that story because Prophecy was gone and then Sweater as well. But you want to talk about Prophecy first?
Yeah, we should talk about Prophecy because Sweater's a whole different situation.
Got it.
Prophecy came to us. Obviously, Scrims had a influence on his decision. The atmosphere was good, but him as a person, he wanted to move on in life, nursing and stuff, because he was working also like in a shipment yard or moving boxes, something like that. I don't know what it was. So he would come home. Sometimes he'd be late to Scrims, not his fault, but because he's working. So he decided before invite calls, he said, guys, this is my last run. If we make invite, amazing. I'll stay for invite, and then after invite, still look for a player. Right? It was like, I'm going to do that at least for you guys. Everyone was fine with it. We already had a player in mind. We wanted creators after when Prophecy left, because Temple got relegated and we were really good friends with Tim. And no one could fit the role, except for him, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we played invite Quals. We smoked Soniqs. Like, those fools in scrims, they absolutely smoked us. And then Seth went on 6-on-6 saying RF is not gonna beat us, not a top contending team, blah 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 blah. Seth says this, Seth says that, Mister this, Mister that. I'm gonna, it was obviously a smoke. Like, they smoked us. No matter, like, I won't lie to you. Dream went probably in that scrim plus 90. Like, he was off. He was off the like we had no chance. Come game day,
we know how that
Villa,
turned out.
We know how that turned out. We smoked them with 7-5 Villa. They beat us on Oregon because the reason why they beat us was because of creators, by the way. He went plus 18. So sit there and say creators wasn't a big part. Creators was a big part of them beating us. And then they dropped creators, which is a funny situation. Oh, you left. Okay, whatever.
Sure.
We'll say you left.
Mm-hmm.
He left. Yeah, sure. So yeah, he left.
I'll get on that fucking thing right now and tell a whole ass story.
Yeah, he did leave. Whatever. Yeah. So he left, and we picked him up unofficially. Prophecy. Oh, that's like after we lost invite calls. But then, we obviously played Altiora. Bro, there was no like it doesn't matter. That was basically like SSG winning invite. That was written in their books of them qualifying for invite. Like, there's no way in hell anyone was winning versus them. Like, the team that I played Parabellum in the NSG tournament 5 days ago, or 6 days ago, was not the same team I played in invite quals, because we two hold them. Like, I just didn't believe it. So whatchamacallit, we lost Altiora.
Right.
And then Prophecy, it's nothing against Altiora. Obviously teams change, but like, no one was like, if you talk to any of the BC guys, no one was winning against Altiora. Eska went plus 19 or some shit. Like, I
I think you're right. Yeah.
It was a smoke, like, who we lost, like, and then we became a memes, lost to a Canadian Pro League team, blah blah blah. We moved on. At that time, Prophecy had quit. We moved on, and then incoming, we picked up Tim.
Yep.
Scrims are going well. We're probably having the best times of our life. Everyone's fragging out. Sweater gets a ban. Sweater gets Battle Eye banned, but let's say this in the podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have the email stating from Faceit Ubisoft that he did not cheat any competitive game because his MOS files are there. They triple checked it. Like, he did not cheat at all during RF.
Okay.
But I still to this day don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if he played I don't know if he cheated on Tarkov or a different Battle Eye game and he got banned. I don't know. Like, I'm being totally honest. Everyone keeps asking me what happened with Sweater. I'm being honest right now. I signed multiple NDAs. I don't know. Like, I would say it, but I don't know it. Every pro player, if you ask them about Sweater, even his past teammates like Bolo when they were underage, he will tell you Sweater was not a cheater. But I don't know. Like, I am signed a couple NDAs with Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I don't know the situation. I honestly don't. Everyone comes in my dream says Sweater was a prophecy. You know, Sweater was the best. Sweater was 100%. If Sweater was in Pro League right now, he'd be a top 3 aimer with Bolo, Hyper, and Sweater. Like, but I don't know what caused his ban. So to everyone asking, I don't know.
Okay.
That's it. That's literally it.
You don't know on your end, but he can say things, the community can say things, but at least from your side of things.
He moved on. On his stream, you can look on his channel, you can look at, many times he said why or I think at one point he said he doesn't even know, but listen, like, Sweater's like the ex-teammate, one of the homies, but like, I don't know what happened. He says he doesn't know what happened. People say they know what happened. So from my point of view and from his point of view, respect it and move on, because we got the email saying he didn't cheat on RF during competitive games, so we're cleared.
Yeah.
Our spot is still safe, which is amazing to us, because when we heard he got Battle Eye banned, we were like, bro, that's our jobs.
I'm sure, yeah.
It's not because people thought, oh, he cheated on RF. It's because, when a player gets banned, referring to like other past players who got banned, which I won't name, I don't want issues to happen, but their teams got banned or other stuff happened. But Faceit was like, there's nothing on our end stating that he cheated on during the comp games, because all the evidence is here. So we were fine. During that time, we were talking to XSET we were talking to them.
Yeah.
We mentioned it up. They said, it's no problem to us. He didn't cheat on your team. During RF games, so we're still fine.
Okay.
Find a player, let's sign him. So we had to sign creators, and then we tried multiple people for XSET. At the time, we had tried out Butters, but we had a different player in mind. The screenshots out there, we had Iconic on our mind.
Okay.
The screenshots out there on Reddit.
Yeah.
Iconic didn't come, or he didn't choose us. He chose to stay with DG. And then a week later, NJ gets picked up to DZ, so his best friend leaves the team.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny to me, but he just won the NSG tournament, so congrats to him. So we tried out Butters once again, and honestly, I enjoyed Butters a tad bit more than the rest. The vibes were amazing with him, the comms were there, and he fits the role. Obviously, we changed up the roles now. You'll see an NAL soon.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's how basically XSET found his players. We also had an analyst we can't forget through the time on RF, 2 analysts. We had Drew Spark during the time with Rexon.
Yep.
He transitioned to United.
Now working for SSG.
Now working for SSG.
The homie.
So yep. Man's the homie, got to show him respect. And then we had Never Swim Alone after Drew, which, by the way, I loved Swim. One of the best analysts out there. One of the best strategic coaches, like analyzing everything and everyone. But unfortunately, we couldn't pick him up for XSET, not because of contracts and such, but because of his work. He got many releases, on projects and such, and he doesn't have time to balance it with Rainbow Six, with the NAL team.
Yeah. Because
it brings in a lot of, you gotta be there for scrim time. You got to be there for VOD reviews. It's a lot for someone when he's working a job that pays him well above a lot of other things, and it's his future. So we respected him. I miss him, so shout out to him. But yeah, so that's basically how XSET happened. Like I said before, like 30 minutes ago, shout out to Ubisoft as well, because they they're the ones that helped us a little bit with this XSET signing. So, yeah, and I'm actually happy we got XSET over any other org.
Yeah, seriously. It seemed like the people that they've got working for them and like the basis that they already have under their feet, they kind of seem like a diamond in the rough, blessing in disguise kind of thing. So yeah,
so like fantastic org, fantastic people. It's just overwhelming for them. The respect they give to their players is so freaking amazing. A lot of people say, "Oh, we wish a T1 org came in the scene, a T1 org, this and that." In 4 years, XSET will be one. As when an org grows, they can't just be T1 right away.
Right.
But in my eyes, they're a T1 org right now, and they're probably one of the best T1 org. They're probably the best T1 org because the way they treat their players, the way they show how they want to help you. Whatever you need, call whenever you want to talk about something. A lot of people go through issues in their life, family issues or personal issues. Some people don't have people to rely on. They're like, if you need help, we're always a call away. There's, especially in the gaming industry, when as gamers, there's a lot of health issues or mental stuff that you want to get off your chest, or you don't have anyone to talk to, and you don't want to talk to other people in the community because they might leak it or be something like that. So for them to step up and say, yo, if you guys need a helping hand or someone to talk to, like a father figure or something like, and we're only a phone call away, it's an org like that. That's not called an org, that's called a family. Like when they treat you like that, that's a family type of org, and I'm really glad to be a part of it.
They really did kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, you can kind of call them a T1 team too. They've got like a Valorant team that's competing at a really high level these days.
You see the Valorant team? Yeah. Holy, we did Thwyfo. You got BCJ. You got Pure. You got Aaron. I think they're so nasty.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
so nasty.
They've already got like a pretty good reputation, I think, among a lot of other esports too. So the fact that we've got them,
they have a great CS:GO team as well.
You're lucky to have them as like the org that you play for, but we're also kind of lucky. It seems like to have them like be like within like the Siege ecosphere as well.
I mean, look at the colors. Like the colors are fucking amazing. We're supplied by Ghost. It's probably backwards. HyperX stuff. No. I mean, even though we don't use controllers, why not?
No, I got you, man. Yeah.
But so that's basically our timeline of XSETs, or of RF to XSET.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And then we touched a little bit on like all the stuff from like, I guess moving from all of the places that you guys lived in the U.S. and then having to stick all of you in Vegas. I didn't know if there was like somebody that's in that house that kind of feels like, man, I wish I was more like back home, or it's kind of weird moving into a team environment or something. Like you'd be the one to tell me that. But
but no, to answer your question, Butters is on my right. You can't really see him, but I'm pointing to him, right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Ladies Man, shaking his head. We got Timothy Craters, and Xavier Filthy Garcia. They're all West Coast. Like when they came over here, they drove.
Mm-hmm.
It's going from California to Vegas is not really anything new. It's just probably cheaper.
Right.
The food is still the same. In and out. Trash, by the way.
Ooh, fighting words. Little bit.
I'm gonna say, Five Guys overall. I'm an East Coast guy.
That's gonna get put on Twitter later, and everyone's gonna be like, man.
Listen. In and Out is better than McDonald's, obviously. Like, I'm gonna rate it right now. It goes 100%. Five Guys, and then like it's like Shake Shack, or no, actually, price wise is Five Guys is honestly expensive, right? Five Guys is expensive, but they're better burgers. Yeah. In and Out, you can get so much more for the same price as what you get at Five Guys. Like if you bring me an In-N-Out burger, I won't be like, no, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah. But anyways, going back to the story. Drew comes from Atlanta. I come from Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's nothing really new. Brycer came from Britain, though. Like
I know he lived in DC for a bit too, but I was just like,
he lived in DC. Yeah, no, his parents are in Tennessee, I think. But yeah, he's a British boy, and we always make fun of him for his accent. But funny thing is, whenever you go grocery shopping, there's always some girl at the end of the day that's like, who is that? Your guy's brother or something? And we're like, why? He's like, oh, because he looks good, and we're like, how, like he's British. You're like, we know. So like, and then we're like, well, we don't sound British. I was like, oh, it's just a question. So his accent gives him the ladies.
I was gonna say that's a pretty good chick magnet right there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Brasser, yeah, you can't really roast him for that one, huh?
No, you
Jacob?
really can't. No, I'm over here wanting to find reasons to roast his ass, but I can't. That just sucks for me.
But yeah, to sum it up, like, I'm used to Vegas. Tim's used to Vegas because he was on, Temple had a house here for a little while, for like a 3-week period.
It wasn't very long, yeah.
It wasn't very long, but it had a house here. But yeah, we're smart. We're giving knowledge to the others about how to like not spend as much money.
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, you gotta save money for the future. It's not just living a moment. Living in a moment is not a smart way. Trust me.
Yeah.
In my 3 months with LG, I spent probably a month worth of salary, and that says a lot.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, it's not fun, but yeah, we're obviously happy. Everyone is chilling right now, playing games. We're just enjoying our time for NAL until NAL. Today was a dry run day, and then another question for you.
Oh, we're flipping the script on me. Oh God.
Yeah. So this is the question for you, CaliberJacob, and the team is looking right now. All right. Why did you rank us number 9? I thought you were a fan of RF.
Fucking knew this question was going to come up. I knew this was going to come up.
We're the underdogs. Listen. We'll take it. We're not going to be like, oh, put us on a higher rank. We're going to be the underdogs. But why? Out of everyone, apparently I was your favorite player in CL and all that. And favorite one to interview. But you put my team in 9th. No, he's stunned, huh? You're shocked, huh?
No. I figured I'd have to face the music on this opinion at some point. So no, so for context, for those who don't really know, I put up like 7 hours ago, I did like a little like NAL, like a power ranking sort of thing. I put it on Twitter. It's like from 1 to 9, it's TSM, DZ, Disrupt, SSG, OXG, Mirage, then Beast Coast, Soniqs, and XSET.
Beast Coast, who we beat, by the way, in CL.
I know that. Trust me, I do.
No.
I get that. But here's kind of like, it was like a bottom 3 sort of mentality, and I'm trying to figure out where to rank BC, Soniqs, and XSET kind of at the same time. BC, they haven't changed any players up for a while. It's been the same roster since Challenger League. They've been able to like gel for a really long time. Soniqs and XSET both had to make a lot of really crazy changes, and there's a lot of people who are trying to figure out where they want to put the new Soniqs team, because it's like it's the old United core. They're coming in, but the old United core also they weren't able to perform at a really high level. They came really close, but they couldn't quite make it, right? So you pair that up with Super, like it's minus Alfama plus Super. I don't know like where they're gonna go. Like for me, that's not even like an 8th place. That's like a question mark for them, because I don't know how they're gonna perform. Is it gonna be a new EU, or is it gonna be like an old Soniqs?
Obviously, it's not a question mark since they're not 9.
The reason I had XSET down low is just because it's another one of those cases where you have 2 more people coming in. We saw how you did in the DZ NSG tournament. That's cool, but no one knows if that's going to be a direct translation to what the NAL looks like. And you said it earlier. You were like, okay, yeah, we've changed up some roles since NSG, but it won't quite be the same thing. I am hoping that you can kind of prove me wrong on this one.
Did you factor in that Luke is on SSG and then they beat Soniqs with Luke, right?
I did factor that in, but I also had them like 4th on the list because I don't know how SSG is going to do.
And did you factor
Canadian
in that we beat? Did you factor in that we beat Beast Coast literally in NSG 5 days ago?
I did. Yes, I did. But again, what's the translation then? You tell me. It was actually another question I was going to ask. What's the translation between what we saw in the NSG tournament and what we can see from you guys in the NAL? Like
that is true. That is true.
Give me a comparison. Yeah.
Well, in NSG, I'm gonna be honest with you, we didn't really show that much strats, and
I know, yeah. What? I think it was like was it against England
BC,
Esports
right?
or something? No, there was like one team you played on like. It was the best of 1, and you went to Theme Park. It was like 8-7. I'm like, can these guys just win already? What am I looking at?
Wait, was it 8-7?
It was Theme Time. Oh, sorry, it was Theme Park. I think it went to Max OT. Yeah, I can bring it up right now.
Filthy. Who did we play on Theme Park NSG that went 8-7?
I'm scrolling back to find it.
Does
right
anyone
now.
remember?
Let's see.
I was asking, Filthy. Who did we play on NSG in the best of?
Orgless.
PogChamp.
Yeah, those boys, the ex-Nordic guys.
Yeah, ex-Nordic. Well,
Still
ex-Nordic.
Still PogChamp. They were gonna go to Nordic, but then didn't. But
yeah. Butters was supposed to be on Nordic. That's one of the reasons why we didn't officially pick him up or actually wanted to try him out because we thought he was on Nordic for a while too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. But no, we went 8-7 with them. I'm gonna be honest. You got to remember that was like our first play day actually with the team.
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't that the first game though? That was like really.
That would have been the first official game that had like the full 5-stack of XSET on it in a competitive setting that anyone had ever seen.
It was literally the first game ever, I think, of that tournament, and so nice. But yeah, no, that was the first game. So as a team, even though Filthy, Butters, and Creators have chemistry, it was more of we need to mesh more things. So going 8-7 with them, it didn't really mean a lot because we also came in blind, by the way, because we didn't know what the hell they were gonna run.
I bet, yeah.
And if you look at our CL season with RF, we never played Theme Park. That was our auto ban.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't think I ever saw you guys play that during that season.
We never ever played Theme Park. So that also factors in. And we didn't dry run for it. We scrimmed it, and I made up attack strats on the go. And it obviously worked 8-7.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we won't be seeing Theme Park anymore. So
gone too soon, still in our hearts forever.
Gone too soon. But yeah, so that was really our first game together as a team.
Yeah, I can scroll back through like who all else you guys played. It was I remember I casted.
We played Parabellum.
Yeah. It was the Parabellum guys.
Beast Coast.
Dark Zero was an 0-2 though. They could have had your number on that one. I was casting that game on the DZ stream, and I'm just like, man, what am I looking at?
Listen. The DZ game they're obviously some of the best players ever, but we scrimmed them so much. Like we're considered scrim partners at this point. We didn't really prepare for them like we prepared for other teams, and it was too early in the tournament. So when we got smoked on Consulate, we were like, listen, we're going to do our best on this next map, but we won't try to show a lot of stuff because NAL is coming out.
Right.
So we got smoked, and then we go back to not Sod's team was like England Esports or something like that.
Sod was Joe Academy, and then there was England Esports after.
Joe Academy.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was Joe England Esports? Which one was that? Which team was that?
That was freaking. Go back and find it. That was Vladder, Barring, Gasher, CZ. Those guys. I don't think you ever played them.
I don't think we played them. We didn't play them.
It was just Joe. Yeah, it was Rethinking Valor, not Sad.
We played Joe Academy.
Those boys.
And Axe, oh my gosh, on Coastline, he just went dummy hard. And then literally, I looked at my team. I said, guys, listen, we're playing NSG. I know people are tired right now. It's been a full day. Food. We haven't got food in our stomachs.
Right.
I was like, listen, let's pick it up. Let's go into this. Let's win it, and then move on. We don't have to sit here and cry about it. If we lose, we lose. We focus on NAL. But, let's just do default stuff and go dummy hard with it. We did default stuff and we won. We come to DZ. We went all the way back in the loser brackets to DZ. And then we almost had it, right? It was we lost 8-6.
It was 8-6 on Cafe, yeah.
8-6 on Cafe. And we were, if you look at DZ when they 0-2'd us and then DZ then. You see, we had actually, we put the boots on and we're like, all right, we actually want to beat DC right here.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Let's beat them. And we were giving them one hell of a fight. And then, obviously, at that time, they just beat us, So, all the boys on DC, I fuck with them or mess with, talk to them heavy, They're all 100% my homies. But, yeah, we 8-6 and then or 6-8, and then we ended up losing the tourney. We left. But the NSG tournament, regarding the other teams, we didn't really put a lot of our strats out. It was just default stuff.
A lot of teams
but
said that
we
they kind of weren't
trying.
really able to do that either. It was just like, well, it's a cool
mean, for
thing, but
Beast
you want to
Coast,
save it for NAL still. Yeah.
On Beast Coast, the first map Clubhouse, they were doing their default stuff. Because it's Clubhouse, you can't really do anything else but default stuff.
That's true, yep.
That map is one of the most stalest maps out there. There's no matter what operator you bring in, that map will always be the same. You go basement, you either clear the roam, or you hit kitchen dirt, or hit blue dirt, or upstairs you open up the server wall, you hit the split, or you do a garage stay. It never changes. That map, no, you always have to have 2 hard reachers, 2 clears, and then nades. Like, it's always going to be that way.
It makes it really easy to cast, but as a player, I'm sure it got boring quick, I bet.
It is boring. It is boring. So to sit there and say Beast Coast wasn't really bringing out the strats, everyone, whenever you play Clubhouse, no matter what strat it is, those are your strats. Like, it's literally Clubhouse. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
So for analysts and coaches looking over VOD reviews on Clubhouse, they'll actually get information off of it because that's actual people pushing, like if someone jumps the server window, they'll do it another game. If someone pushes the garage, they'll do it another game. So yeah. So some teams did bring out their strats. On Cafe, we obviously brought our strats versus DZ.
Okay.
I won't lie, we wanted to win. But yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
So in terms of like how much that looks like to what your NAL strat book also ends up looking like, I'm guessing you have a lot more in the tank for NAL. You're not trying to give everything away on a free stream on NSG. You're going to be playing best of ones on LAN. You want to save all your really juicy shit for then. Yeah.
100%. I mean, there's not even a gap into it. If you go back to seasons before this season when teams were top 4 secured, and they would have another game day against a bottom tier team like in the ESL Pro League or in NA or Face It.
Yeah.
You think they're going to bring out their strats when they're already secured top 4 or whatever? No.
Of course not.
You would see teams running Finka Blitz just trolling. You would see them trolling. It just doesn't matter. The strats need to be some of them would have strats that are supposed to be kept for the major or the minors at that time. So while they bring them up in a map that they never played on stream, when they're already secured to go to a minor or major.
Yeah.
Obviously, we tried 100%. We tried so hard in NSG, but we didn't bring our strats out. To us, we wanted to win the NSG tournament. But because of the time phrase where they put it so close to NAL,
yeah,
NAL was more important to us. If they had did this a month ago, we would have been like, of course, bring it out.
Sure.
We can change stuff in a month, right?
Yeah.
Everything changes in a month. But because of the time frame, sorry, it was just not something we would want to bring everything out on. But yeah, obviously we have some stuff in our books. Obviously when you're in a team house, you sit down together as a team, VOD review, counter stratting. Yo, let's do this. Yo, let's do that. It's different than TeamSpeak where you're sitting in TeamSpeak or Discord and some people are on their phone, not paying attention, or yada yada, this and that. But when you're on a team, you can see the couch right behind me. That's our VOD review station. We get in the couches, we get our notebooks, we write down this, we write down that. Obviously, in a game, everything changes, but you have an idea as a team around each other, what's your game plan. So to sit there and say team houses don't really benefit you, it depends on how you use a team house.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get moved into a team house and everyone's in their room after scrims, or everyone just shows up to scrims and there's no VOD reviewing time together, or this or that, or if you don't value your time in a team house to sit there and be like, listen, we're here to win. Let's get in a VOD. Let's get in on our PCs together. Let's get in a dry run lobby. Let's run drills. Let's try to clear this. Let's try to clear that. Or let's get on the couch. Let's watch the Butters is notorious for getting on the couch because Butters on the couch.
Good joke.
But yeah, if we don't get on the couch or watch TV or not like TV, but watch a VOD reviews on a TV big screen and say, yo. Let's say, for example, Bolo does this, or Chala does this, or Fultz does this, or Rampy does this, and try to get those kills that determine, a round win or round loss or stuff like that, what is your purpose of moving into a team house? You're there to win. You're doing your best to win. Obviously, you want to stream on the side and do that.
Yeah.
But when it's team time, you put all your effort into it, and that's why one of the reasons why I like this team. When push comes to shove and people are like, "Yo, let's do this," we're actually gonna do it. Some people think we're just here to be here, but
Nah.
You got teams that been here in Vegas for so long and not half of their players even stream on their off time. They're just there to be here. They're here to communicate. They're here to chill. They're here to be called a pro league player, but they're not doing anything to benefit them. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's only ever seemed like a benefit because you guys are trying to run that team house less like it's a frat environment and more because you really want to. You want to perform. You want to do good. You're going to be going to the same building and playing together. Yeah.
We're all friends at the end of the day, but the thing is, we're not here. It's not friends over business. It's business over friends, and friends come after the business. Like, we're here. Obviously, we're business partners if you want to say teammates, but like when we're done with our VOD reviews, we're actually friends. We hang out with each other and stuff like that. We're not here getting drunk, doing whatever we want to do. No, that's not our plan. We're not here to do that. Yeah, we're in Vegas, but that doesn't mean go party every day. You're getting paid a job to do. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna work. Listen, I love this job. It's way better than a 9 to 5, right? Because I'm still sitting on a PC and I can play whenever I want or scrim here, scrim there. But I'm not gonna try to waste this opportunity because on LG, even though I never wasted an opportunity, I was still released. So I want to do everything I can to save my spot, to keep my spot, to keep me going in this league. So no matter what it is, I'm doing it. Like scrimming, dry running, streaming, I'm there. I'm wired in.
And you're not going to stop until... Actually, you know what? That's a pretty good way to end this whole thing out. For you, a personal goal that you're trying to hit, the thing that you're doing right now that you want to keep on excelling in and take with you, whether it be you're trying to just get the stage over with or whether you're looking for SI championships, what's the thing that you're going to try to keep shooting for, the thing that keeps you going? What's your end goal here?
My end goal for Siege in general is having my name like how Canadian Pengu have their name in this game and Fabian.
Okay.
I'm trying to be one of those players that are remembered for their legacy in this game. From champs to minors to pro league games to streams to content. I want to have a job in esports my whole life. Obviously, I wanted to be in Rainbow my whole life or as long as it goes. But obviously, you see games moving on and, in 10 years, you never know where it's going to be. But I want to be where people recognize me in this game how they recognize Canadian Pengu because I looked up to them before I got here.
Yeah.
So... obviously, it's a legacy, and to become a legacy, you got to have games played, champs won. I want to win. I want to win a championship. I want to win 2, 3. I want to win everything that's upcoming right now, no matter what it is. From majors to national majors to international majors to invite. No matter what it is, I want to win it with this team. Obviously.
Yeah.
But I want it to be when it says Thomas and Liquipedia, first, all gold. Yellow.
Yup.
All gold. Obviously I want it for me, but I also want it for my boys over here. So obviously, I want it, but for me, that's what I want it to be in. First, everything, no matter what it is, because I'm not here to get third or second. Obviously, whatever happens, if you get second or third. But I never want to be the guy last.
Yeah.
I want to be remembered. That's my goal in this game. Yeah.
Okay. And you think that this is the best group of guys you've ever had to go forth and do great things with, huh?
From the past teams to now, this is 100% the group of guys. From my past teams to now. From when I had on EXG because remember on EXG I didn't play with Bolo Merc. I played with other players. So
right.
the EXG is not the same TSM now. TSM, is obviously only one player on the team that's from EXG.
Right.
But these group of guys 100% have the drive to do it. It's just we just got to show it.
All right.
No matter what it is, NAL lands. Hopefully, I just wish this COVID pandemic.
Eventually, we'll get there. I promise we'll get there.
Eventually, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my time. This is our time.
All right, good stuff. And I guess I'll leave it out with just like the really stupid question that you do at the end of every game day interview. Anything else you want to say? If it's to your people, to your fans, your parents, your family,
Obviously,
whoever the hell, shout it out. What's your
obviously shout out to everyone that supported my family? Obviously leaving them in this tough time during COVID, and when I left them the first time, my father was alive, and then leaving them now, it's kind of wild. It's
yeah.
But obviously to the XSET org, shout out to them for helping us out a lot, and then also shout out to the fans. Shout out to everyone that's been helping, with our, publicity, with their, no matter what it is, with our following, with, giving us the support. Shout out to them all. Obviously, whoever I talked about in this interview, don't take offense to it. It's just me saying what I said.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing in bad terms. I'm fully okay with. I don't have beef with no one in this community. I'm not that guy anymore. I moved on, so whatever happened between us, I'm fine with everyone. This interview was just a fun interview or conversation that I had with you, Jacob.
Yeah.
No feelings should be hurt around here.
Hey, if anyone's feelings are hurt, I'm put like the invitation's open. If someone has a problem with anything Tommy said in this interview, come back on here. We'll talk for an hour and a half, and then you can just like let all your stuff out. Like if you got if you got a real problem with anything here, come on, man.
Yeah, come on. Like what I said is just my life. Like you can't get mad at me for saying what I went through because it's what I see from my point of view. If you're gonna say I'm wrong, it's just like a difference in your opinion. But
no, it's your side of the story.
It's what I went through. It's my side of the story. It's my side. It's my life. I'm literally giving you a biography, an autobiography.
No, legit.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone, and I appreciate the interview from you, Jacob.
Yeah, dude, on super short notice, just trying to figure stuff out in a couple of hours. It's 9. It's like almost 10 for you. It's almost 11 for me. But hey.
I thought this was gonna be 30 minutes. We ran for an hour.
We went for an hour and 20. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Hey, listen, if all this goes out there, I'm actually happy with it. But yeah. I appreciate all of it.
No, it's like for being able to do this really, really quick. I appreciate it, Thomas. NAL starts Wednesday. Good fucking luck, buddy. I'm rooting for you boys, even if I can't say it in front of the camera. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can't say it, huh?
Can't say it yet. Awesome. Thank you so much, buddy.
Can't say it.
Appreciate it.
No problem.